We're with the Lake Havasu City Writers Group, and we're here today to introduce you to the idea of reading and writing for pleasure. We exist to help folks who like to write to improve their writing, and where you're ready to publish, we can help you do that as well. It used to be difficult to get published. It isn't anymore. And one of the things we'll share with you in future videos is how you can get your books. Today, we just want to share with you some stories. We have with us 4 authors and myself who write here locally in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. I'd like right now, we'll just go through and introduce each person to you. First, let's start with Karen.
Hi, my name's Karen Wright. I always had a wild imagination while I was growing up raising my family, but I had lousy grammar. I joined the Lake Havasu City Writers Group about 4 years ago. Oh boy, have they helped me.
I'm Sarah Lee Ross. I've been in the Writers Group for about 1.5 years now. I have always written stories from the time I was a kid up until today when I'm not a kid. I have learned so much in this 1.5 years that I am close to being published. I'm so grateful to have found this group, and they are an awesome group of people.
Sharon?
I'm Sharon Poppin, and I have been with the Writers Group since its inception. And every time I go, I learn something new. It's a very moving, alive group, and very worthwhile of my time. I have 6 published novels. Mostly I write about strong women in the Old West, but I have a couple of contemporary fictions and 1 gay sci-fi about 2 men in the future.
Hi, I'm Pat Lesso, and I've been with the Writers Group about 1.5 years like Sarah Lee. I write a little variety. I have children's stories, fiction, and erotic romances. I've learned a lot from the Writers Group because the critiques, no matter how much you think your story is perfect, you find that somebody else can show you a different way or possibly a better way and change the outlook of your story or maybe even enhance it so much better. It's been great.
I'm Paul Bailey. I write stories that are about fiction, fantasy, adventure, men's stories, and just plain weird stuff. If you like weird, you're going to like my writing. Today we are here to share a short story from each of our writers, and we'll begin with Karen Wright.
Hi, this one's called They Like the Dark. Mommy! My 3-year-old daughter's screams brought me out of a dead sleep and up on my feet. I sprinted up the stairs, flipped on the bedroom light, and almost laughed at my daughter on her knees behind her pillow, holding her rubber baseball bat. "There's a monster in my closet, Mommy," said my wide-eyed child. Every night for a week, I opened the closet, moved all the clothes and toys around. In the end, I ended up spending the night in her room. Imagine my surprise when in the middle of the night, I woke up to the sound of scratching in her closet. I got up, turned on the lights, and it stopped. This time I emptied the closet, finding nothing. I slipped on my boots, grabbed a flashlight, and walked around the outside, expecting to find a tree branch scratching the house or an animal. I found neither. Saturday morning, I sent the kids off with their father, and I stayed home alone. Sure enough, the noise started up again. I grabbed my broom and ran outside. Not a thing in sight. The neighbor, startled by my flight with a broom in my arm, walked over and asked, "What on earth are you chasing?" "I don't know," I said, "but it keeps scratching on the wall and scaring my daughter." "Oh," he said, "see those holes up on the roof line? There's no screens over them. You should have your attic checked for critters." Sure enough, we had bats in the attic.
Very good.
Thank you very much, Karen.
Wonderful.
Sarah Lee, would you like to share your story, please?
I'd love to. This is called Lessons Never Learned. After 10 years of marriage, the second divorce should be easier. It's not. I'm having a really hard time with this one. You'd think I would be able to recall all the trauma and the drama that goes with it. Crazy things are said and done when a relationship grows cold. Where are my friends and my family who have always supported me? Gone. My teenagers are angry at me. I feel so isolated and guilty. Should I stay in this loveless relationship for security? My first husband, Fred, the father of my 2 sons, was a very smart man. For 10 years, he never left his rocking chair, but he had great ideas and unfulfilled dreams. Next came Ted. Wealthy beyond imagination, he promised everything and fulfilled my every wish. I soon learned that money was overrated. Ted's first love was work, which is how he could provide all the luxuries a woman could ever want, except he wasn't my soulmate. I decided marriage was the problem, and I vowed never to do it again. Then along came Ed. He was every woman's dream. I finally found what I was looking for, but I refused to marry him, pointing out that if we could stand each other after a decade, I would. We didn't make the 10-year mark. His ultimatum was it was either him or my kids. I chose the latter. I lost Ed. To this day, I believe I made the right choice. Last week, I had a surprise visit from an old high school friend named Ned. Oh no, here I go again.
Sharon, would you please share your story?
Yeah, I'm gonna write something a little bit different than I did the first time. I hope you like it. It's a rodeo romance as it was published in our Oasis, Offerings from the Oasis, which is one of the books that we as a local group put out every couple of years. Easy does it, Trixie, calm down. No, listen to me, you bow-legged hick. Save your easy does it for your dang bulls. Trixie's 5-foot body came up on her toes and she poked her finger into his chest. Oh, or that cheap rodeo queen you was talking, sweet talking. I was doing no such thing. Buck rose to his full 6'4" with an air of indignity. You was? I saw you chatting it up with her while I was rolling my barrel into the arena. Trixie pulled a duffel bag out of the small closet in their RV. I think you've been kicked by too many bulls, Trixie, while you were in that barrel, or you had your clown wig on too tight. I ain't interested in no rodeo queen. Bull. She opened several of the built-in drawers below the bed, began to throw things into the duffel bag. What are you doing now? What's it look like? I'm out of here. You got the damnedest temper and the most jealous bones of any woman I ever did see. I ain't jealous, cheetah. You and your roving eye. Buck began to pull things out of the duffel bag and toss them on the bed. Stop this foolishness and put on some party duds. We're going over to the Crazy Horse. Not me. It became a comedy skit with Trixie packing and Buck unpacking. Finally, he grabbed her shoulders. Trixie? Oh, damn, come on, girl. You know I don't love nobody but you. Oh, yeah, right. Buck tried to kiss her, but she dodged away and went back to packing. He stood in the doorway and watched for a minute or two. Don't you love me no more? She looked up. Sparks flew from her eyes. Buck Gentry, 3 years ago when me and my rodeo clown buddies lured that local Brahma bull away from your bounced and bruised butt, I fell in love with you. Her eyes blurred for a moment, then she turned back to her packing. Ain't me that's doing the flirting. Buck shook his head in frustration and leaned against the wall. His hand brushed against a rope hanging on a hook, along with several other ropes he used in the rodeo. He grinned, then grabbed the rope he used for cattle roping competitions and started towards Trixie. You wouldn't, she dared. He smiled as he flipped a loop over her head and roped her arms tight against her body. Don't do this, Buck. Easy does it, honey. We're going to the Crazy Horse, one way or another. Country music from inside the bar blared so loud into the parking lot that could be heard in the cab of Buck's truck, even with the windows rolled up. Buck shut off the engine and smiled at his captive. Can I untie you now? I ain't going in there, Trixie stared straight ahead. Have it your way. Buck came around the truck and opened the passenger door. He gently pulled Trixie out and eased her trussed torso over his shoulder with one hand while trying to control her leg kicks with the other. He headed for the bar. The bouncer at the door smiled and doffed his Stetson. Buck grinned back as Trixie protested with, Help me! I'm being kidnapped! The bouncer held the door open for Buck. Buck made his way through the saloon. People began to notice and yell out greetings to both Buck and Trixie as if they were walking in just like any other couple. A path was cleared and Buck made his way to the bandstand where he set Trixie down. He nodded to the leader of the in-house band. The familiar chords of Happy Birthday rang out. As the room sang along, Buck whispered into Trixie's ear, Happy birthday, honey. Will you marry me? He slipped down on one knee and presented her with a ring. You're crazy, she managed through her clogged emotions. Yep, I reckon I am. I'm crazy about you. Now, will you marry me? The song ended and the room fell into expectant silence. Trixie looked at her at their friends and fellow rodeo buddies. She nodded. Buck, I'll marry you on one condition. Anything you want, he blindly agreed. You just stay crazy. The room exploded with laughter as Buck untied her and slipped the ring on her finger. They sealed the engagement with a kiss.
Thank you very much, Sarah.
I'm gonna read about magic, because I like magic. Magic is everywhere if you know where to look. Once upon a time, in a land far away, and so the stories go of our childhood begins. Tales as old as time, taking you to faraway places like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with Captain Nemo, a magic carpet ride with Aladdin, sailing in the Caribbean with Captain Jack Sparrow on the Black Pearl, or following a well-dressed rabbit around in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Magic is everywhere. Magic fades when we stop wishing upon a star and replace it with wishing we were grown up. High school, careers, life all get in the way and suck the time that you so that magic slips further from your mind. Peter Pan was famous for refusing to grow up. He said, "Come with me where dreams are born and time is never planned. Just think of happy things and your heart will fly on wings forever, never, never land." He gave us the directions, second star to the right and straight on till morning. And he told us what we need. All you need is faith, trust, and a little bit of pixie dust. As Walt Disney once said, fantasy and reality often overlap. If you doubt that magic exists, just stroll down Main Street in Disneyland and watch the people. Magic is in the air, from Sleeping Beauty's castle to the rivers of America and over Space Mountain and beyond. When children follow Tinkerbell as she flies across the sky, or see snowflakes falling at Christmas time during the parade, you see the wonder in their eyes. That's magic. I'll take the camera. It's okay. It's good to rehearse.
This story is called Devil May Care. My roommate Steve is an interesting guy. He's pin neat, well-dressed, and spends 3 nights a week at his favorite church. I'm thankful for those 3 nights, because the other 4 nights a week he spends in his room with the door closed, yelling at the top of his lungs at the devil. I've taken to dating on Steve's church nights on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday to save myself and my unsuspecting date from the strange sounds of Steve's nightly fights with the satanic realm. Last night was Thursday. I invited Beth over for dinner, dancing, and whatever came after. We made it past the dinner and dancing, and were on the brink of whatever came afterward when Steve came home unexpectedly. "I rebuke you!" Steve yelled as he entered the house. Beth jumped up and covered her beautiful breast with her discarded white blouse. "You have no right in this house!" Steve yelled. Beth pushed me off of her, grabbed her clothes, and ran to the bathroom. I said, "Cool it, Steve. You're a devil! You're a liar! I rebuke you!" I knocked on the bathroom door. "Beth, are you all right? Steve's my crazy relative. Every family has one, right?" Beth came out fully dressed and left my house without another word. Steve continued yelling. I went to my room, looked in the mirror, and grinned. A handsome face and a set of red horns glared back. Hell of a night, I told myself. Tonight, Lake Havasu City Writers Group has been around for over 14 years. We meet twice a month. This isn't a ploy to get you to join our group. Actually, what we would like you to do is join us on our website at www.lhcwriters.com and join us as we put forth our weekly or monthly, whatever it turns out to be, reading time for you to enjoy. Thank you.